Welcome to Mother and Refuge of the End Times. We would like to share with you an article from Foros de la Virgen Maria entitled Freemasonry Unmasked, the Luciferian Agenda for World Moral Reversal. Masonic rituals and their connection to Lucifer and the serpent of Genesis to discredit Jesus Christ. The origin of Freemasonry is established in the fraternity of the medieval builders and in the doctrines of the Templars. But some scholars argue that this is a romantic mystification, and that in reality, it is a Gnostic, occult, and Luciferian doctrine, with a political dimension which has played an important role in historical events since the French Revolution to remove the Christian matrix from the world. Here we will talk about why Freemasonry is the main agent of moral change in the world, to move it away from Christian morality, and how it is led by the hand of Lucifer. Historian Ricardo de la Cierva argues that Freemasonry was Christian until the 17th and 18th centuries, when it fell into the hands of the Protestant Huguenots, and there it became anti-Catholic first and then anti-Christian. And today, membership in Freemasonry is open even to atheists. But in reality, it has a clearly Luciferian vocation after Lucifer, the angel who led the rebellion against God in heaven, and who was expelled to earth after being defeated by the Archangel Michael. Masonic rituals are directly or indirectly a glorification of the disobedience represented by Lucifer in his rebellion against God. And Masons portray the God of the Bible as the oppressor of Adam and Eve. The serpent of Genesis, often identified with Satan, is seen as a liberator, offering knowledge through the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which God had forbidden. In several rituals, Freemasonry explicitly glorifies Lucifer, presenting him as the light bearer, just as the serpent is seen as a bearer of light and knowledge, which God did not want to bestow on humans. This interpretation is a serious inversion of biblical teachings. In the 30th degree of Freemasonry, the individual is considered a god, capable of defining for himself the nature of good and evil. This ability is acquired from the 28th degree through the 7th Gnostic truths, according to former Masons. Thus, Freemasonry promotes a sense of pride and autonomy, similar to the qualities attributed to Lucifer. In this inversion, they tend to refer to Jesus Christ not as a divine figure, but as a sage or philosopher, arguing that he was the first Mason and an initiated man. They base the interpretation on the idea that Jesus and Joseph were carpenters, a profession that Masons etymologically link with the figure of the architect. This distortion may mislead some believers into thinking that being a Mason and being Catholic is compatible. But if that were not enough, Anton Sandor LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan in 1966, creator of the Satanic Bible and the Satanic Mass ritual, is considered a Masonic brother. However, most Masons do not realize the influence of the devil in Masonic rituals and really believe that they are working for the happiness of mankind or for the progress of mankind. They do not realize that modern Freemasonry is pagan and Gnostic, and that esotericism and occultism play a vital role in it. To most lodge members, this truth is not revealed. Only the higher degrees possess this complete knowledge. Secrecy in Freemasonry is fundamental because it avoids direct and frank opposition and allows covert political action without alerting the public. It also allows individuals to practice mutual aid among initiates. Its mantra, Order of Chaos, suggests the intention to implement the Masonic order throughout the earth after having created chaos. So Freemasonry is hegemonistic because it seeks to impose its perspective. It speaks of tolerance, but Masons are only tolerant of ideas that do not contradict Masonic ideology. They proclaim that Freemasonry holds the keys to human happiness and that only they can enlighten the poor men. And that is why they are committed to changing the Christian morality of the world. In reality, Freemasonry is modern paganism, a reproduction of the Gnostic currents of the first centuries, which were considered heretical by the first Christians. and it has been at the forefront of the propagandistic struggle against the Church for the past 3 centuries, to the point that the Church has issued dozens of documents condemning Freemasonry and its membership, and it remains a cause for excommunication. The influence of Freemasonry has been increasingly important in the world since the 19th century. It has been the source of all social laws that oppose traditional principles and advocate a Catholic moral re-engineering of the world. Independent scholars have said that the laws to change the Christian matrix of the world have been elaborated and presented by Freemasons with the implicit objective of establishing an order contrary to the divine order. This organization is responsible for the fact that today our societies are immersed in the ideology of relativism. Former Freemason Serge Abad Gallardo has revealed that many laws enacted, for example, by the French National Assembly, have been created in the lodges. He revealed that the lodges do an annual work on a social issue of re-engineering and prepare a report for the national leaders and for the President of the Republic. And then laws are passed in the French Parliament because there is an important group of Masons known as the Parliamentary Fraternity, composed of about 400 Masons of all obediences, plus an additional volume of independent Masons who vote as Masons and not according to their political party. But God is aware that what is hidden must be known, and He has stirred up former Freemasons to reveal what they have seen inside the organization. One of them is Serge Abad Gallardo, who was a prominent member of French Freemasonry for more than 2 decades. An architect and senior state official, his career in Freemasonry began at the age of 33, introduced by a real estate agent friend. He held several official positions, even reaching the 18th degree as Venerable Master, but God intervened in an impressive way. In 2012, he returned to the Christian faith, prompted by a series of experiences that were not fortuitous and made him feel God's presence and love. The first significant encounter was with a Franciscan priest in 2002. He spoke with him for several hours and felt the presence of Jesus at his side. This encounter rekindled his belief in God, but he did not immediately return to the church. Later, he would feel the need to pray, but he had forgotten all the prayers as a child. And another priest told him that what God loved most were the prayers with our words and our heart, and so he began to pray. And in 2011, he heard on the radio the Rosary Prayer, which he didn't even know, and he says it was like a sword of love that pierced his heart. And he decided to go to Lourdes for a few days. And praying the Rosary before the grotto, he suddenly fell to the ground and felt that his legs were paralyzed and he could not get up for a long time. At that moment, he understood the love and power of God. He then went to spend a week of retreat in an abbey, and there his faith was fully developed. He returned to daily Mass and began to pray the Rosary daily. It was then that he understood that Freemasonry was not compatible with the faith. He found out for himself, but clearly led by the facts that God put in his path. Well, insofar as we wanted to talk about how Freemasonry is the main agent of change to change the Christian morality of the world for a Luciferian one, I would like to ask you if the Christians you know this or not. Immaculate Heart of Mary, pray for us.